Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
Okay, so come to a seated position, come sit down on your chair. Take a second to kind of scooch back, get comfortable for a moment. Let your shoulders soften, let your eyes close down if that feels like a nice way to start. Take a few more just neutral, natural breaths, nothing forced, nothing fixed, but just within those breaths, tune in and just notice all the sounds around you. And then still keeping a slight bit of attention on the sounds around you. Also get a sense of the room that you're working in. So feel the floor beneath you, get a sense of the ceiling above you, the walls around you, and then stay within those two places, noticing the space that you're in and the sounds of the space that you're in. And then see if you can start to bring that focus just a little bit closer to home. So notice your rib cage, notice your back connected to the back of the chair. Notice that smaller container space. So the chair behind you and beneath you, the bit of space just around the top of your body and your sides of your body, or maybe even just notice the container of your clothes on your body. And then within that container, can you notice the sound of your breath? Take one more moment here. And then keeping your eyes closed if you can, or keeping that soft gaze, just start to lift your back away from the back of your chair. So sitting up a little taller, and then notice the solidness of the surface underneath your butt and the backs of your legs. Readjust anything that you need to so your feet feel solid on the ground, your butt feels supported in your chair, and then you're sitting up nice and tall. And then come back to your breath. Just notice your inhalation, notice your exhalation. On your next in breath, if you can, let your shoulders kind of lift to a halfway point. So rather than lifting all the way up to your ears, just let them lift up to a little bit of a halfway point. We're going to hold a little bit of tension in the shoulders for a few minutes of breath, just to kind of feel these little different variations of places where we might feel breath in our body. So let your shoulders kind of lift and tense up just to that midway point. Close your eyes down for a moment and then just take a couple of breaths. But keep that little bit of upward tension in the shoulders. Notice what is happening in your face, in your nostrils, the front of your neck, and your throat, maybe even in your hands to keep and maintain that little bit of tension up in the shoulders. One more cycle of breath with that tension, but at the end of your exhale, if you can, let your shoulders soften and melt down. Let your hands relax, let your face relax. And now we're going to bring the breath down into the belly. So we're going to try to imagine that we're breathing past the diaphragm. So we're going to let the belly fill up and inflate just a little bit, but don't go extreme. We're not trying to like burst our balloon. So we're going to fill the belly up just a little bit. So we're going past the diaphragm a little bit, but like not so I say this, we're going for like not good breathing. So we're going to try to breathe into the belly, but not in a good way. So just go past the diaphragm. So take your inhalation, breathe into the belly, let your belly expand. And then just exhale whatever feels right. Breathe into the belly, let your belly expand. And then just whatever exhale comes. One more breath there in the belly. And now we're going to combine the two. So we're going to let the shoulders lift and tense. We're going to breathe down into the belly. So we're going past the diaphragm and just let the belly inflate and then exhale. So lift your shoulders, find that little tense position, breathe into your belly. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, release your shoulders, sit up just a little bit taller. And now we're going to grab our Theraband or your yoga strap. So whatever long strapping tool you have, we're going to take the band and we're going to wrap it around our rib cage. So we're going to get it around with a little bit of tension. So we're not going to try to like squeeze or choke out the rib cage, but we do want to feel a little bit of feedback from our tool. So you're going to wrap it around, whether you like to tuck it in or tie it off, that's just whatever feels more ease of practice for you. I'm going to tuck mine in, but you do whatever feels right. And then once you've got your yoga strap or your Theraband kind of tucked around the rib cage, take a second, just make sure everything feels good. And then relax your hands down, relax your shoulders down. We're going to try to put that breath in the rib cage. So close your eyes or just focus your gaze, but breathe into the rib cage and think about breathing down into the bottom of the lungs, filling up towards the tops of the lungs and allowing the rib cage to expand front to back and side to side. So eyes closed or open, that's totally up to you, but find your breath in your rib cage if you can. We're going to stick with that breath in the rib cage. So keep your Theraband or your yoga strap on just so you can feel that little bit of feedback. But now we're going to add a little bit of movement to the breath. So as you inhale, let your shoulders lift up towards your ears. And then as you exhale, let your shoulders soften down, but see if you can keep and maintain the breath in the rib cage. So you're breathing front to back, side to side. Inhale, let your shoulders lift. Exhale, let your shoulders melt down. Inhale, let your shoulders lift. Exhale, shoulders melt down. One more nice big breath here. Keep the breath in the rib cage. Keep that breath coming front to back, side to side. Bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Big breath in. Slow breath out. One more breath, breathing into the rib cage, but keeping one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Nice. Now we're going to keep the hand on the heart, but lift the elbow up. Take your hand that's on the belly, tuck it into your armpit, and then let your elbow drop back down. So we're going to feel the expansive breath. So we're going to breathe into the rib cage, front to back, side to side, but feel a little bit of breath or space in your armpit area. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath. When you're ready, we're going to release and switch to the other side. So hand in the armpit, hand on the heart, and then just come right back to your breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, we're going to keep our Theraband or strap around the rib cage. Hands are just going to rest on the thighs. We're going to move the toes and we're going to hold our eyes and eyelids up. So head in a neutral position. Eyes are going to lift up. Eyebrows are going to lift up, but the head is in that neutral position. We're going to hold our eyes in that steady gaze. Now we're going to breathe into the rib cage. And as we breathe in, we'll lift our toes. And as we exhale, we'll let the toes drop down. So keep your eyes lifted, eyebrows up. Inhale, lift your toes. Exhale, toes float down. Keep that breath in the rib cage if you can. Eyes are lifted, eyebrows are lifted. Inhale, lift your toes. Exhale, float your toes down. One more cycle of breath. And then blink out your eyes, take a second, shrug out your shoulders. And now we're going to remove our Theraband or yoga strap from around our ribs. Just set it back behind you, set it off to the side, whatever gets you there. And then take 3 cycles of breath with no tools. Feet on the ground, hands wherever feels the most comfortable, head in a neutral position. Breathe into your rib cage. Think bottom of the ribs or think solar plexus up to the collarbones. Awesome. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Exhale and tuck your chin down towards your chest. Inhale to lift your chin up. Exhale to tuck your chin down. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. Hands are going to slide forward, moving right into a seated cat-cow. Inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck your chin to your chest. Keep that breath going, but see if you can keep your breath expanding in your rib cage. Take 2 more cycles of breath. On your last exhale from that, you're going to move right into scrape the peanut butter jar or barrel roll. So as you inhale, you're going to start to move your rib cage around. Inhale, heart comes forward. Exhale, rounding back. Take 1 more circle around. And then when you're ready, reverse and go the other way. Inhale, heart comes forward. Exhale, we round back. One more circle around. And then hands are going to find the hips, find a nice neutral spine, and we're going to move right into a pelvic tilt. So you're going to curl the tailbone under just a little bit, come back to natural or neutral pelvis. So whatever feels just more like that neutral place where you kind of feel your sit bones connected to the seat. Beautiful. One more little pelvic tilt and then think neutral pelvis. So not too far back, not too far tucked under. Find that middle ground and then let your hands come down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. We'll do that again. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. One more time through. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Left hand's going to touch the chair, right hand's going to reach up. Take a little gentle side bend. Doesn't need to be extreme, just enough that you feel a little opening or stress through the side of the body. Pull your top thumb back just a little bit. Rotate your head. We're going to look towards the elbow pit and then see if you can look past your elbow pit. So turn your head as far as your head will go where you're still breathing comfortably. Take a nice big breath. Release your head turn, lift up and away from that side bend, switch to the other side. Right hand's going to touch down, left hand's going to reach up. Find that side bend just enough so you feel that little stress in the side of the body. Pull the top thumb back, rotate your head, look to your elbow pit, and then look past your elbow pit if you can, or as far range of motion as your head can turn. Take one more breath. And then as we lift up and out, right hand's going to find the left knee and we're going to take a light rotation. So rotate into a little bit of a twist. Take a nice big breath. Release your rotation. Take it over to the other side. Take a nice big breath. Come back through center. Find your seated mountain pose. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right hand over to the left shin, left hand reaches for a twist. Right at the edge of that twist, release that hand down, slide up your shin, bring your knee up to your chest, bring your nose to your knee, and then release right away, feet on the ground, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left hand over to the right shin, right hand reaches for a twist. Right at the edge of that twist, release that hand back down, slide up the shin, bring your knee up to your chest, bring your nose to your knee. Right at the edge of that rounding position, release, feet on the ground, find your mountain pose. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right hand over to the left shin, left hand reaches for a twist. Stay there for one extra cycle of breath. Release that hand down to the shin, slide up the shin, bring your knee to your chest, bring your nose to your knee. Stay there for one extra cycle of breath. Beautiful. And then release back to your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left hand over to the right shin, right hand reaches up. Stay there for one extra cycle of breath. And then when you're ready, release that hand down, slide up the shin, bring your knee to your chest, bring your nose to your knee. Stay there for one extra cycle of breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, release. And then we're going to start with just a little bit of side step. So we're going to just to bring a little bit of movement or warmth into the hips. So just step one leg out to the side and then the other. It's just a light pick up and step out. So there's not a lot of movement happening in the upper body. Take a moment here, just a little quiet moment to just tune in, notice your hips, notice your inner thighs. Awesome. One more side step each way. And then when you're ready, bring it back into your seated mountain pose, feet on the ground, hands down at your side. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right hand over to the left shin, left hand reaches up to the sky. Right at the edge of that twist, release that hand down, slide up your shin, bring your knee to your chest, bring your nose to your knee. Release nose from knee. And now we're going to step that leg out and move right into a warrior two. So you're going to pivot yourself around so that your hips are angled out. One leg bent knee position, one leg is as straight as it can be. Once you've got your way there, we're going to rotate so that our ribs are facing our hips. And then we're going to extend the arms out from the shoulder, look past your left hand, look past your left hand with a focused gaze. You're going to look to your middle finger and then focus your gaze, take a breath. Keep your head in that neutral position and then just look your eyes and your eyebrows up, take a breath.